What's up, everybody? We're back for another episode of our Must Have Comics for the week. This is for the week of July 3rd, coming up this next new Comic Book Wednesday. And the 4th of July is upon us, even though my kids have only been out of school for about 2 days. But everything is good over here. We're sitting in a comic book room, recording this, just surrounded by white boxes. And just really been reflecting on my collection and the influx of books that I've been getting. Even though I've been trying to get rid of some books, it's not as easy as it looks, especially when you're in the mood to just continually buy books. So with that, we're going to get into these books real quick and let you know what is coming out. There are a ton of books coming out, but as always, these are the books that you just have to pick up, in my opinion. So, don't take it as the gospel truth. There are other channels that go through each and every book, which is great. So I don't have to do it. So I just tell you, not just what's on my pull list, but the books that I have been eyeballing. And we got some good covers and a book of the week, of course. I'm going to start off with DC Comics. We got The Adventures of the Super Sons number 12, which is the finale of this series. And yet, I don't believe it will be the end of the Super Sons. I guess we'll have to stay tuned for that. And that is by Peter Tomasi and Carlo Barbera. And the cover is by Dan Mora. Next we have Green Lantern number 9 by Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp. Cover A is by Liam Sharp, and cover B, which is a killer, is by Fraser Irving. Next up we have the Justice League 27, and this is by James Tynion and Javier Fernandez. Cover A is by Bruno Redondo, and cover B, I believe this is the start of those Year of the Villain covers. And that cover is done by Arthur Adams. And a new book from DC, Lois Lane number 1 by Greg Rucker and Mike Perkins. I may just get the first one because of the cover, but not really into her. Mike Perkins does cover A, and Jenny Frison has a really vintage, cool looking cover for cover B. 2 weeks late, but here it is, Naomi number 6 by Brian Michael Bendis and Jamal Campbell. And this, they are saying, is the end of what they have deemed season 1 of Naomi. And I guess you can look for her to debut, in Action Comics or Batman and Superman in September, one of those books, and she's on the cover. But this is the end of this. It's been a really, really good series, and definitely looking forward to Jamal Campbell's next work, which is Far Sector, and I believe that should be out before the end of the year. And that's it for DC Comics. From Image Comics, I think we have a few new series coming out from these guys. It seems like every week Image has a number 1. It's crazy. And this is Sea of Stars number 1 by Jason Aaron and Stephen Green. Stephen Green is doing cover A, and Mike Mignola is doing cover B. We got Section 0 number 4. We finally get the continuation of this story after about 15 years by Carl Kessel and Tom Grummett. Cover A is by Tom Grummett. We have a really cool looking cover by Terry Dodson. And this painted cover C, is by Ben Cadwell. Another number 1, Space Pirates number 1 by Mark Millar and Matteo Scalera. And this has a ton of covers, but I think I'll, only have 3 that I'm showing here. Cover A is by Matteo Scalera. Cover B, or is it E that I'm showing, is by Sarah Pacelli. And Cover C is by Chakins. There are also covers by Brian Hitch, Travis Charis, and there's also a blank cover. A new book, which it seems like this book came out quite recently. Thumbs number 2 is out this week by Shane Davis and Hayden Sherman. A really weird book, and it's I kind of like it. It's a little abstracty, and it's like black, white, and pink. The entire book, really weird. And The Walking Dead 193. It is After the Death of Rick Grimes, We Shall See What Happens, by Robert Kirkman and Charlie Adlard. And that is it for Image Comics. Make Mine Marvel, and Marvel Comics presents Arrow #1 by Greg Pak and Zal Lifen and Pop Mahan. We have cover A by Kang and cover B by Stanley Lau Artgerm, which I'll probably only get #1. I'm going to try to represent for Marvel's quote-unquote manga line coming out of the that War of the Realms book that I didn't get, but we'll see about that. There are Mortal Hulk #20 by Al Ewing and Joe Bennett. Of course, Alex Ross is doing cover A. And we have a Carnageized cover by Nick Bradshaw. The Savage Avengers #3 by Jerry Dugan and Mike Deodato. Cover A is by David Finch, which is super sharp. And we have another Carnageized cover by Leno Francis Yu. Uncanny X-Men 21, which I think this is the last issue for the regular X-Men. I hope it is. This thing has been a roller coaster ride that I'm be happy to get off of. This is by Matthew Rosenberg and Salvador LaRocca. Cover A is by Will Spataccio, and cover B is by Declan Shavy. And that is a Carnageized cover, which is pretty cool looking. And that is it. Wow, that's it for Marvel Comics for me. Our independent books. We have Buffy the Vampire Slayer by Jordi Belair and Dan Mora. Cover A is by Mark Espinal, and cover B is by Kevin Wada. There are also 2 or 3 other covers. I don't know the artist, and I don't have them posted. But these are the picks that I had. Cold-Blooded Samurai #5, and it seems like this book is coming out much faster than I thought also. You know, it's supposed to be 4 weeks in between books, but it's like this book is almost coming out bi-monthly or something. Or bi-weekly, I'll say. And that is by Massimo Rossi and Ludovica Surrogati. It's, I wouldn't say it's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's much more like a feudal Japan book with frogs and such like that. It's pretty dope. Weird, it's out there. What you gonna do? And yeah, that's it for our independent books. Not many books that I'm getting this week. This past week here was a waterfall of comic books, but I guess they don't want to go too heavy on the 4th of July. But I know at the end of this month, I think it's the week of the 24th or the 27th or something like that, it is just a ridiculous amount of books coming out, and all of them are really good books. I know Batman the White Knight comes out, I believe, the last week in July. By 4. Yeah, 2 of each cover. Awesome. Can't go where Sean Murphy is shooting from the 3-point line with that one. But our covers of the week, we have 6 and 0 #4, cover B. That is the Terry Dodson cover. And I was reading this book. I thought this character got killed off, but Terry Dodson drawing a woman. You can't go wrong with it, right? Arrow #1, the Artgerm cover. And it's Artgerm, again, drawing a chick. You can't go wrong with it. That's his element right there. The Savage Avengers #3, cover A by David Finch. And who would not put Conan with a venomized sword on their best cover list? Just enough said. And my top cover of the week is Green Lantern #9 by Fraser Irving. That's the B cover. And beside green being my favorite color, I just this black with just the smoky animals or whatever created by it. It's just a really cool cover and make a really nice lithograph or something. And of course, for my book of the week, you know, what I've been doing for the past couple of weeks, the final installment of season 1, quote unquote, of Naomi. Naomi #6 by Brian Michael Bendis and Jamal Campbell. And I'm really hoping that this book really delivers on showing her power set. This is like her first real use of her powers, I believe, and shows her, I guess, her ultimate villain or whatever. And I hope we really get to see her in action in this. And since it's season 1 and it's only 6 issues, I hope that they leave it at a little bit of a cliffhanger. So that is it, people. I hope you guys have a fun and safe 4th of July. And that's it. I will catch you at the same bad time, at the same bad channel. Peace.